Hello, this is Amanda Horton with DocsTech. We're excited to begin our first webinar in our new OnBase series, Educating Yourself on OnBase Community and Training Resources. This session will be recorded and made available via the DocsTech website, and we'll send it to you after the session. Participants will be put on mute, but if you have any questions during the webinar, please enter them in the chat bar and we'll be sure to answer them. I'd like to introduce you to our Highland partner, Rourke Hardy, who will be presenting on the resources OnBase has available. And I'll let him introduce himself, so I'll turn the time over to Rourke.
Thank you, Amanda. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Rourke Hardy, and I'm a Highland representative here today to talk to you about some of our different informational websites that we have available for OnBase end users. So just as a quick overview, I'm going to be talking through a PowerPoint for the first couple slides, but then we're going to go ahead and dive into each actual website to give you a better understanding of where resources are on each of the websites so that you can use them to your full advantage. Just a bit of a disclaimer. We like to provide our users with as much information as possible to really, make them independent as well as capable of continuing to grow their OnBase solution and fully utilize it to their best potential. So the first thing we're going to go over is creating an OnBase profile. This is going to be key to actually utilizing all the different information websites because it allows you to seamlessly go through in and out of these different websites and use them how best you see fit. We have a single sign-on capability, so once you create your profile, you'll be able to use that same password and same username for each of our different websites. And then finally, as I said before, we're going to dive into each of those individual websites you see up there. We're going to start with Highland Community, which is kind of our flagship product. Informational product. It really provides you with just a treasure trove of information as well as an actual community of other OnBase users within your relative industry that will help you better understand how to use OnBase and to look for different updates for future iterations of OnBase, and also information on new products and new strategies being focused on by Highland as a company. OnBase training is true to its name, an excellent training website with thousands of hours of information on different modules, different solutions, and different strategies for utilizing them. We have free to play content on there, as well as our premium service, which offers another level deeper into content and just overall expertise of our solutions. Next, we'll be talking about My OnBase Planner, which is just another tool for you guys to use, which provides a really good understanding of business level information. So if you're trying to understand how your organization can solve your different business issues and needs using OnBase, that's a great place to start, as well as it has this really cool functionality that allows you to plan your OnBase future out. We call it the roadmap functionality, and it provides you with an area to grow and expand and really get creative for how you want to see your OnBase grow. And finally, we'll stop at Try OnBase, which is a hosted website that allows you to export different VMs, which are virtual machines of different solutions that we have, whether it's accounts payable, accounts receivable, or human resources, and allows you to play with them in an interactive sandbox so that you can get a better feel for how that solution will work within your relative system. So as you can see here, there's kind of a bit of a narrative here. We're going to start with the overall large treasure trove of information and go down to the more specific usage of our solutions. We try and provide you with this narrative and the story so that you can get a better understanding of how you can utilize our different websites to your advantage. So this is the Highland profile page. After I get out of the PowerPoint, we'll jump into this and I'll show you some of the different fields that you'll have to fill out in order to get your profile set up. But it's very easy to use and it's very easy to find. Just ask your account manager. We can send you a link and get you going right away. And every member of the organization who wants to have access to different Highland training materials is allowed, available to sign up and use it. Just want to go over a few different statistics about our Highland community website because it's such an amazing resource. There's over 10,000 members currently actively using the service. There's 4,000 different product, solution, and technical articles. So just really, the entire history of our company from a technical information standpoint is really on this website, and we constantly are updating and expanding that content to meet your needs and to meet industry's needs. There's over 6,000 answered questions on this website, so it's really an interactive experience in its own special way because it allows you as a user of your relative industry to go in and just get more information on how other customers are using the website, are using OnBase, and just really delve into how you can improve your own processes. And once again, there's over 5,000 downloadable resources, solution summaries, case studies, and different promotional items. If they're not all necessarily just technical focused. At this point, Amanda, if there are any questions in the chat, we can take those from the PowerPoint, but if not, we can go ahead and start diving into the websites themselves.
No questions so far.
Fantastic. You'll have to pardon my mouse movement throughout the presentation. I'm without my actual mouse, so I'm using my fingers. So this is what the Highland Profiles page looks like once you open it. As you can see here, there's a number of different just basic fields: email, password. We want you to clarify if you're trying to actually gain access to these websites. We'd like to know that. What company you're working for. HSI, for those unfamiliar with the term, HSI is just your unique identifier within our OnBase system. We use this to track, through our various CRMs as well as our training websites. It's just our way of understanding, like keeping track of you as a customer within the OnBase system, or within the Highland system as a company, to ensure that we're, responding to you as your unique. We're responding to you as the unique customer that you are. So you're going to enter your first name, last name, a phone number. If you're a contractor, you'd put that there. But it's really a basic form that just will give you full access into our different informational websites. So as I said before, make sure you talk to your account managers account manager about getting this information in this form if you want access to our websites. The first of our websites, Highland Community. This is really like I said before, the treasure trove, kind of like the heart of our informational system and our informational sites. You can access a lot of the websites I'll be showing you after, such as training, My OnBase Planner, and Try from this website directly. There's actually links for a lot of those. And so we try to make this the central hub for our learning experience for our customers. As you can see here in the header, you'll find information on different events like TechQuest or Community Live here, updates on year over year where the Community Live event or TechQuest event will be and what dates those will be on. So it's good for updates and news as well as technical information. Under our products header here, you can see because of a recent acquisition, there's somewhat of another level of complexity within our product suite now, and we like to try and simplify that for you as users as much as possible. So you can see there's different levels of our products broken out here. We actually have a page dedicated specifically to acquired perceptive products separate from our original OnBase products to ensure that you understand where different lines are and what you're actually looking at. Let's go ahead and click on OnBase. Just give it 1 second. So this will allow you to browse pretty much every single product module available on our list. And I know that scope can seem very overwhelming, but I'd like to assure you that the search capabilities in this website are very functional and very advanced. And if you're looking for something like advanced capture or whatever, you can really get down to the nitty-gritty of what you're looking for within that search bar. A really cool function that I'd like to point out here right now is you can actually, every year, year over year, we'll have what new version of OnBase at the top there. And we can see here it's OnBase 17 now. In a couple months, it'll be OnBase 18. If we click on that, this is actually a really cool interactive tool that allows you to see what specifically is new within OnBase 17. And there's different functions in here. Oops, sorry, that's my computer. There are different functions in here that actually allow you to, there's interactive video galleries. So there's bite-sized chunks. I know all too often you don't want to spend hours watching a video about every single feature a module has, or reading through 800-page MRG. So finding digestible pieces of information about our product is very imperative, and the OnBase video gallery will give you just that. It'll give you bite-sized chunks for introductions to the new version, as well as different features relative to your industry. And you can sort those out here by product category or by industry or by business value. I mean, so if you want to look for something that's more reporting and monitoring based, you can click that and it'll actually take you to the 3 videos that you actually really need to see to explore that product and understand it more, more in depth. So that interactive video gallery is going to provide you as a customer with just those bite-sized chunks you need to digest different features that we have available in our new OnBase experience. You have different module reference guides for 17. You have help files. You have the upgrades community, and I'll get into what those are in a second. We have different white papers. So it's really just the treasure trove of information. And this is only specifically for the new OnBase 17. So, I mean, for every, for accounts payable, accounts receivable, you can really go in here and get different information for what you need. So that's the informational portion of community. But just as important as the information, there's actually the interest groups and sort of that interactive forum portion of the website, which will provide you with a community, the community portion of community. So you can follow, when you follow a different grouping, you'll receive notifications and updates on that as that page itself is updated, as people comment on it, as more information is posted to it. So if you're in Europe or wanted to join Community Live, you can click into any one of these pages and actually follow them and receive updates on those specific events. If you'd like to know more about specific Highland platforms like AnyDoc or Acrosoft or the Highland Cloud, and want to make sure that you're up to date as a company, whether it's from a security or compliance standpoint or from a technological standpoint, following these groups will provide you with a cutting edge informational updates. I mean, a lot of these update weekly and monthly. So it's going to provide you with a steady stream of information. And finally, the OnBase user groups. So the OnBase user group, and it says Vogue. And so what Vogue stands for, it's a vertical OnBase group of user experts. And it's a dedicated true OnBase user forum where members of whatever industry you're currently in come together to share ideas, create valuable dialogue, and provide feedback about utilizing technology to increase the effectiveness and efficiencies within your organizations. And because you'll be a member of this Vogue, and that you're all within that relative industry, they can share the same concerns and opportunities as you. So in the past, we've noticed this creates an incredible amount of energy as well as informational understanding and sharing of what OnBase can do with your relative industry. So I'd highly encourage all of you to consider joining your Vogue and reaching out to your account managers to see how you can do that and taking part in a lot of the events we have for those Vogue groups. So for example, let's click into the financial services Vogue. You can see there's announcements. As you can see, we update these regularly. There's not much space in between these updates. So I think it's a very useful tool that is utilized by some, but underutilized. I think everyone involved within our organization as a customer should be involved in their Vogue. And if you want to see things at a more solution level, we have different pages for those as well. And you can follow any of these, any page you see, you're able to follow and receive updates on the information as it's updated. And OnBase is something that changes, multiple times a year as we continue to update the product to meet your needs and the industry's needs. So, I mean, staying up to date through community is one of the best ways to do so. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to go on to next to training, but I'd really encourage all of you to take a deep dive into community and really figure out what's in there, how it ticks, and how it can better be used by your organizations. So going next on to training. So training, similar to the OnBase interactive user gallery. It's a website that contains dozens, if not hundreds of different videos outlining specific solutions and modules and different processes and how to complete those processes and how to improve those processes through video form of OnBase. And it's just really, it's a really incredible tool. And there's self-paced labs in here. So if you want to learn, receive a workview certification or a workflow certification, using training.onbase.com is an incredible way to do that on your own schedule. As an organization, you can continue to bolster your understanding and knowledge of OnBase through this website. And as you can see here, there's just a ton of content. I mean, this is just one page, and there's dozens of pages. So like I said, like in community, because of how much content exists on this website, it can get a little daunting at times to figuring out what you actually need to see for your organization. But we knew that, so we've created a number of different filters on the left-hand side here that allow you to drill down into specific roles or delivery types or technical levels, and even some in different languages. So as I mentioned before, there's kind of a difference between free-to-play content and the premium content, and that you can break that out down here. So if you want to see the free content that comes available with onbasetraining.com, and even down here, there's just a ton of good content. If you want to understand how to better engage with accounts payable, or how to use advanced capture, or get some API training for a course evaluation. I mean, the uses for this website are just endless. Depending on what you need, you can really find whatever sort of training materials you need on this website. You can receive certifications from here. You can and just as a side note, if you want to come into Highland for instructor-led training, you can actually check the schedule here to figure out when would best work, for you as a user, and to come in and get an API certification or get workflow training. A lot of that information will be included here as well. And it's just we have a ton of different training options in-house, and training.onbase.com is your best way to seeing into that specific schedule. Moving on to premium. Now, premium, there is extra cost associated with premium, but I would have to say it's well worth the cost because of how useful a tool it is and how in-depth the content really is. I mean, there's just a wealth of knowledge, anything from creating workflows and optimizing that workflow to understanding your accounts payable process more effectively to creating workview objects or best practices for specific industries on how to use case management. I mean, there's just a ton of information that you can really utilize within premium. So I'd say it's well worth the cost. I mean, you can see things breaking out, organized by role. You can get resources and lab files that will be, greatly utilized by your organization. You can track those results. You can see different learning paths. I'm currently taking a self-paced lab for workview training, and I'm finding it very interesting. But I mean, a lot of stuff is going to be available on premium, and absolutely comes, with great benefit to your organization. And a lot of this content is ever growing and ever new. I mean, we have content dating back from 2011, but we're constantly adding to this. Our training team is working around the clock to continue to build out our system and build out the amount of material that we have for you guys to use. So this is not something that's ever going to lose its value. It's only going to continue to grow in inherent value. So I'd highly recommend you jump on the train. As I said before, you can see different information around TechQuest within the schedule here. That'll give you information to one of our premier technical events. If you have technical users that need or want more information on some of the more cutting edge upgrades that we have coming up, TechQuest is a really good way to kind of talk to different Highland developers and understand where our product is going and how your organization can best work alongside that. We want to ensure, Highland, our customers are our family, and your informed decisions help us better understand how we actually grow the product and what avenues we want to follow. So I highly encourage you to join in that and become part of the discussion. So that's training.onbase.com. My OnBase Planner. My OnBase Planner is a little less in depth than Highland Community and training.onbase.com, and I always try and break out the site into its two main benefits and parts, and those are the information repository and the roadmap planning tool. The information repository piece, as you can see here, is broken out by relative industry. So whether you're in healthcare payer, financial institutions, or healthcare, you'll go in and see your relative industry brought up. And actually, we have information on here for different solutions that you own. And what it is a visual tool allowing you to see how you're currently using OnBase and how much further you could go with that usage. As you can see on the screen, there are different tiles here. Some are gray and some are beige. Those beige ones are solutions that I have indicated from our records that I currently have. Just immediately I can see how much more OnBase could do for my organization and just expand my efficiency. Each of these tiles actually has a ton of information around a specific business solution. What we did when we created my OnBase Planner is we wanted to take all the amazing technical information that we had in community and translate it to a business level content. We understand all too often it can be easy to get lost in some of the more technical terms and nuances of OnBase when you really just want to understand how OnBase can help solve your business problems. My OnBase Planner was kind of built to help remedy that informational gap in our system. We want you to use this to understand how OnBase can help you solve problems from a business level standpoint. On each page, there's some information. This one has a video attached to it. There's a paragraph of information around what that solution is and how it affects your business processes in a positive way. There's benefits, ROI, the associated modules for each solution. This one, deficiency management, is a standalone module in of itself. There's some related solutions involved. We really we're trying to help you guys understand OnBase as a technical web. Most solutions are attached and have relative value to each other as an interconnected system. And my OnBase Planner tries to showcase that through this function here. There's resources attached to each page, like solution summaries or OnBase case studies. And we want to provide you with that auxiliary content so that you can take it to other members of your organization. If you're trying to, champion OnBase internally, we want you to have the resources available to do that. So that's the informational repository portion of my OnBase Planner. The secondary portion of it is the roadmap functionality. And also, I'm going to be just doing a brief overview of this, but if you ever need more information around this tool and how to use it, please contact your account manager, and I will actually probably be on that call because I'm kind of the resident expert for my OnBase Planner, so just let us know. So what the roadmap function allows you to do, it allows you to take the driver's seat as a user and understand how you would like to use OnBase 1 to maybe even 5 years down the road, to understand how you'd like to expand and increase the complexity and nuance of your OnBase solutions, depending on your needs and where you see your organization in 5 years. You can drag and drop different solutions into different quarters, which it makes it just a really cool, holistic experience. You're able to share these roadmaps internally and combine them. So if you're trying to create an overall corporate plan, you have the ability to do that using my OnBase Planner. It's a really cool tool. So yeah, it's a planning and an informational tool that we created to give you a better understanding of how OnBase can solve your problems from a business standpoint. Okay. And finally, try OnBase. Try OnBase is a newer website, and we're finding that it's very effective for people who want to get a more in-depth understanding of how our different solutions work. It's targeted towards people who really gone through community, done some research, are interested in understanding how OnBase works, and how, if they bought it, like how it would actually work and how effective it would be within their system. And so we created this. It's like a test run website. We allow you to have self-paced labs on demand. You can host different solutions and demonstrations. You know, you can work with, I think it allows you to work with our demo team to get demonstrations. You can actually go through concept solutions. It gives you an MRG, or it gives you some resources alongside of that VM that allows you to export a different OnBase solution onto your browser, and allows you to play along with it. You know, send through a couple different invoices, or process and some employee file changes in a virtual environment that gives you a better understanding of how OnBase actually works from a solution standpoint and from a technical standpoint. Yeah, I mean, it's just a very, like I said before, this kind of feeds into the overall narrative of getting information down the line. Have you start out within community, get a better understanding of how OnBase works, how our community works, see how people are using OnBase within your relative industry, and then we take you down the rabbit hole to try OnBase, where you're actually running through different concept solutions, clicking through, understanding them better yourselves. Here at OnBase, we really try to work to empower you through information, and I think our different systems really speak to that. We take you, we want you to become a resident expert yourself, so that you can better understand OnBase and use it throughout your company. And that's kind of all I got, guys. If there are any questions, please feel free to type them out now. Amanda, I don't know if you had any questions for me either. I know we finished a little early here.
No, that's perfect. We'd like to thank Rourke, and we'd like to thank all of you that were able to attend. Keep your eyes peeled for the second part of this webinar series, and we hope you'll be able to join us next time. Thanks again, and feel free to contact me or Rourke with any follow-up questions. And we'd like to thank everybody, and please let us know if there's anything we can help you with.
Thanks, guys.